Okay, I'm out here again for a few weeks this summer. This is my family summer holiday, so it's not just about fishing. I came out early this morning, got up early. It was worth getting up. I managed to get just a couple of schoolies. I did get a hit from a bigger fish. I saw it splash out and have a hit of the lure, and I also had another one on in the same place. It's as far as I could cast out, and I had a fish on for a few seconds. That one came off. So so I'm hoping to get out a few mornings here and there where I can. And from what I've heard, the fishing is pretty quiet at the moment, but the summer's really not the best of times anyway. A few local fishermen I know that fish a lot with lures said there's just the odd little schoolies around. But I'm sure you can, it's definitely possible to pick up a few bigger fish if you're lucky. So I'll just get out when I get the opportunity. Yeah, so this morning I was using this Longcast Samson fishing rod. It's a 12-foot rod, and it's designed to cast generally bigger lures out, anything from around 30, probably up to about 100 grams. So in slightly rougher conditions, which is really suited for this coastline really. I mean, I've been casting some lighter lures with it and it works okay, but it's not, it's ideally made for heavier lures. But when I go fishing, I might be casting anything from 15 grams right up to 85 grams, depending on the conditions. So if you're surf casting from the beach, even if it's not very big swell, it's not big today at all, but you still want to get out as far as you can. So I'm using the 12-foot Samson fishing Longcast together with a 30-gram bomb to cover as much ground as I can. Now the bass can be anywhere from right under your feet to right out the back, and of course anywhere in between there. Okay, so first cast of the morning, just picked up a little bass. Now check out the colour of that. It's really sandy. When you catch them by the rocks, they're really dark. You catch them over the sand, it can be this colour. It's really amazing how they blend in. Okay, tiny little schoolie there. You can see how he's blended in with I caught them over the sand, and they're normally a much darker colour when you catch them over the rocks. Hopefully there's a few bigger ones around now. Okay, it's a little bit flowy out here, especially a little bit now. So, put on a 50-gram tweak. Just put on the white one so I can, no matter if I smash it up against the rocks. And it's as good colour as any, depending on the conditions. The wind seems to be building up a little bit. So I just put on this 50-gram tweak. This is the original white. And I hooked into an Avario. So I managed to get out this morning for an early fish over here with my family, so just be doing a little bit of fishing this time. Got into this little bailey or Avario, got on the 50-gram tweak. It's the first time I've used that for a while actually, testing all the colours out. So yeah, nice to get into a couple of little schoolies at least, and still got a little bit of time left. Right, I haven't had this Untitled minnow on for a long while. Gone out a mile with this Longcast, just what I needed. Just need to get a bit further. Oh, come on. I was on. Yeah. I hooked up to something there. Okay, it's a really nice evening, so I managed to get away for an hour or so's fishing. So I'm on the family holiday, so it's not the same as when you're on your own. You can, fish when you want. But conditions are good, no wind. So yeah, hopefully get into something a bit bigger than a schoolie. It's just nice to be out here anyway. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go. Okay, I'm going to give this little 15 gram medium sink tweak a go. It's a little bit of wind, perhaps a little bit too strong for it. The sun's gone behind the cloud, which is great. It's right in your eyes, at least I can see the lure, and better for the fishing as well. It's really hard to see when that sun gets low. You've got all these rocks in front of you. It's pretty shallow there. Come on. It's only another schoolie by the feels of it, but yeah, a tiny little bass. I put a bit of a bend in the rod, so that's nice. Okay, a little bass there. Big difference in colour from the last bass I had, which was on a sandy beach last session, and that was really sandy colour. This one's pretty dark because it's around the rocks, so they do blend into the colours. It's a nice overcast evening as well. So this little mullet tweak bait is definitely one of my favourites. Hoping tonight, oh come on, bloody hell, first cast. That's good. First cast, let's hope I can keep this one on. This is on the little tweak bait, I just thought I'd start with that. Yeah, nice start, first cast and the little bass. It's on the tweak bait there. Spoken to a few of the locals, and apparently there's not a lot of fish about at the moment. So just hoping, you know, if I can get onto the odd fish, I'll be happy. Just never know with the summer. As I said, the last few summers have been pretty good for me. There could be no more fish tonight. It could be it, but yeah, it's always nice to land something. Okay, I'm gonna try now a bomb. That was good, it went well with that. I had a slash at it and I've had a fish. I'm gonna try this little mullet bomb, same colour. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this 21 gram bomb just wiggling over those rocks. Looks really good. Just shaking that rod tip. It really works well with this rod, as these lures work much better with a stiffer tip. You don't have to work hard to get the action into it. Oh, something big had a go at it then. Flipping heck. So it's been quiet since the first one. I had another hit from what looked like a better fish, but I think I'm gonna swap back to the tweak bait. So I love using these little tweaks in these kind of conditions, and it's fairly small. Okay, I'm on again. Another little one. Another little one on the tweak. Okay, the two fish I've had have been on medium sink tweak baits, just 15 grams. And obviously this isn't the right rod for casting such light lures, but I knew that I'd be wanting to cast some heavier lures. This is a 50 gram or 49 gram fast sink tweak. So yeah, that way at least I can be versatile. I can start off with some lighter lures, and if I want to change spot like I have now, or get some distance, I can still stick on some heavier lures. So yeah, hopefully there's a few more bass about. This rod's certainly not designed for 15 gram lures, that's for sure, but they cast them okay. And to get onto the heavier lures, it's going to be ideal. That's gone out a long way. This is a fast sink tweak. It's very shallow ground in areas. I don't want to get snagged because it will ruin the rest of the evening. It's a good lure for this moment. That's it, got it. Come on. Okay, it's not a massive bass, but back he goes. Came off the hook, don't believe that one. I'm on again. Just slowed that lure down and looked around and I was on. That's brilliant. Just thinking, wonder if I'll get one before dark. Now, I already lost one like this that came off. The little one. Oh, these spikes are really sharp. These spikes are really sharp. One of these went in my foot. Went right through the rubber and stuck and broke off straight in my foot. I managed to get it out all right, but yeah, they can really give you a nasty dig. Anyway, nice one before dark. I think we have a couple more casts and then I'm gonna call it a day. It's got this Untitled minnow on. It's starting off with a 30 gram. It's really weedy here, so again, so I'm just gonna use top water. This has only got one hook, so should be less chance of getting clogged up with weed. I'll change over to the 50 in a minute. Gonna have a few casts with it. 50 we can obviously get a fair bit further. But it's got over some rocks there. Come on. Oh, no, I had a hit anyway. Shit. I had a feeling that there'd be some bass there. It just sort of slashed at it. I felt it and I saw it. Okay, I'm going to stick on this 50 gram enticer. Because yes, there's quite a lot of weed about. Better with one hooking along the surface. The 30 gram was going well. I got a hit on it and nearly hooked up, and I just want to get a bit further, see how that goes. Okay, that has gone well over 100 meters, well over. That's exactly what this rod's for. You want to get out some distance. I mean, I use it for actually casting the lighter stuff as well, but when you want to get that distance. Okay, I'm now going to stick on this 90 gram. I don't generally use this 90 gram, but I really want to reach a rock out there. There's a good chance there's some bass there. There's a lot of white water out there. Didn't get too far, that one. Wow, that has gone out. Oh my gosh, it hit those rocks. Blimey. So I've got it right on the rocks. I can't believe that. I could have lost that lure then. I don't know how far that out is. It's well over 100 meters. Now if you can pick those rocks up out there. Okay, so at low tide, you can always collect a few perceives over in Portugal. This is a perceive, and yeah, it tastes really good. They don't look that great, but I can assure you they taste really good if you give it a go. Obviously the locals love them, and they only grow down, as far as I know, they grow down this coastline about as far as Africa, and that's it. So, and they grow in pretty clean waters, I believe. Definitely worth giving a go if you're over in Portugal. Just got on this Untitled minnow because of all the weeds. It's only got one hook and I can work it on the top water. It's a tricky little spot here. Just want to give it a few casts because it's lovely down there. I'm on my way back now, end of the morning, but it's been fun. Whew! I thought that I'd got caught a rock. It was so close in. Perseverance paid off today. Okay. Well, certainly didn't need a long cast rod for this fish. I thought I'd hooked a rock. I was in a really tricky spot to fish. You know, I had a big rock in front of me, and I didn't have that, and I was just bringing it through the little gully there to bring out the water, and then I thought I hooked a rock, but yeah, hooked this bass right on the inside in the wash. So yeah, it's just probably right at the end of the session. I'm just making my way back now, so I'm really pleased with that one. Yeah, I didn't exactly need a long cast rod for that fish, but the strength in the rod certainly helped me land it, because I had a rock in front of me, so I had to lift it up over that rock. Okay, I'm making my way back now. It's a long old journey back, but it's been worth coming out today because caught a fish, caught some saves I'm going to have for lunch with the boys, and off to take the boys surfing. Okay, I've got Untitled minnow on because I'm fishing over some ledges. I don't want to get snagged with two hooks. Just be able to whip it over the ledge. I want something that I can see on the surface exactly where it is. Okay. So I'm on with a fish. Just got to get it over this ledge. It's tricky. So it's great with a rod. Okay. Wow, that was nice to get a bass. Okay, so nice bass, first thing in the morning. It's not a huge bass, but it's not bad, and really makes it worthwhile getting up early, getting out over here. It's fun anyway, but yeah, I got this one on the Untitled minnow. So I was fishing over a ledge and needed something long casting, not too snaggy that I could work on the top. So the bomb would have been good, but it's got the two hooks. I guess I could have taken the hook off, but anyway, I just stuck on the Untitled minnow. 50-gram mullet, and yeah, this one hit it in some quite clear water over a ledge, so yeah, pleased with that. Definitely worth coming out this morning. Just one fish, but that's all it is at the moment. If you're lucky if you can just get onto the odd fish and get out. I thought it was going to be a lot windier, but it was windy out there, but it was definitely fishable. Anyway, I was going to talk about the rod I'm using at the moment. I get asked a lot about the rod I'm using and the length, casting weight, etc. And basically over the last year or so I've been developing a rod at Samson Fishing, you know, suitable for casting heavier lures, casting in rough conditions and the kind of fishing conditions I generally fish in, whether it's for bass or other fish. So the rod we've been developing is for casting lures between 30 to 100 grams. Although having said that, I have been casting as low as 10 grams this week, some of the lures, but then in the smaller conditions. But I do like to you know, mix it around, and I might be using a 15 or 10 or 15 gram lure and then switching over to a 50 gram lure if I want to get some distance. Much of the reason for a 12-foot rod which we've been developing is the casting distance. There's no doubt in my mind that 12-foot rods are excellent for casting distance. I like to, you know, some of the fish I catch could be in very close, but it's just as likely it can be as far as I can actually cast out. so I like to cover as much ground as possible. So a 12-foot rod is vital in the kind of fishing I do. But it's not only about casting distance, that is very important for me, but also having a 12-foot rod is really important when it comes to working the lures around rocks. So if I need to get extra reach to bring that lure around a rock, or I need to get a better angle on it, so with the rod tip up high I can get a better angle and either keep the lure away from the rock, or if I'm hooked up with a fish, it gives me much more control on the fish. I'm able to guide that lure or fish around the rocks and just basically have a better reach. Now, probably the most important factor of all for me in working the lures is that I'm actually able to impart some action on the lure, which I really like to do. It's very important to give lures an erratic look for me, and especially working Samson lures, it's very important for me to have a stiff rod tip, a fairly stiff rod tip. So the rods we've developed has got a pretty fast action, and so you can really whack lures right out there, but also you're able to work the lure with little taps of the rod tip or pulls, and that is going to go straight into the action of the lure rather than into the rod tip. What I've found is when I'm using rods with softer rod tips, a lot of the action you impart into it just goes into the rod tip, and it's just, you know, sort of bending at the end and not giving that action that you need into the lure itself. So I don't really want to use sort of exaggerated actions when I'm fishing, which is obviously going to be tiring. I just want to use little taps, very subtle taps and pulls, and get that lure working how I want it to look. One of the other factors that is very important to me in having a strong 12-foot rod is fishing from a beach when you want to get distance, or mainly the kind of fishing I do, which would be from ledges and rocks, when you've got to literally land sometimes very big fish up on the rocks, and you need a strong rod to be able to assist you in sort of getting it up with a wave, or lifting a smaller bass or a fairly decent sized bass out if you need to. For me, it would be quite dangerous if I didn't have a strong rod and I needed to get right down. Sometimes it's just not possible, and some of those spots just wouldn't be fishable for me, and so it just allows me to fish more spots and safely, really. I mean, it's not a rod designed for all types of bass fishing, that's for sure. There's plenty of good rods out there for lighter tackle type of work, but a lot of the rods look like they cast up to about a 30 gram range in general, and yeah, as I say, good for lighter kind of fishing. But for the fishing I'm doing, I really need something longer, stronger, can cast heavier lures, and, you know, suitable for the rougher seas and the kind of conditions that I'm generally fishing in. So yeah, I've been testing this rod, and we're down to pretty much the final prototype, and so hopefully this rod will be out before too long. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using it more and continuing to develop it. Maybe a slightly lighter casting rod slightly, and a heavier one in the future. And the guide system is with small guides, pretty much the same size all the way up to the tip. The idea behind that is to really get the line organized as you cast out, so it's not moving around too much and it just goes out freely. I did actually smash one of the guides when I fell over, and luckily I didn't break the rod. It hit pretty hard. Luckily I didn't break my hand and my leg, but fortunately I was alright. But yeah, so I've changed the guide. For now it's okay. Well, it was a nice fun morning. I'm off back for some breakfast now.